Let's continue. Okay. Oh, Yamazaki, hello. I heard that Dr. Masumoto was here. Yamazaki didn't look like he was in the mood to tolerate my snooping, so he went to the point. Oh, I like his smile. Look at his eyes. What are those? Eye lines. He looks cute though. Okay, realist. Oh my god, what? Realistically, kalau aku lakukan, I would just listen to him. Yes, please. Are you sure? Then yes, please do so. Yamazaki went over to the Dr. Masumoto. Ah, he spoke just like MC's dad. I waited outside for Dr. Masumoto until he stepped out of the examination room. Excuse me. He looked at me for a moment, his eyes narrowed in curiosity. Oh yes, of course. What luck. Yay. Where are we? Dr. Masumoto? Ala, there's Kondo. Hi, Kondo. Oh, what? I was utterly lost. Dr. Masumoto laid a gentle hand on my shoulder. Oh. I see. The Shinsengumi had their own reasons for wanting my father found, but Dr. Masumoto's appearance was still cause for joy. Thank you, both of you, they smiled. Dr. Masumoto then explained he had just barely missed me when he left for Edo as I came to Kyoto. He had received all my letters, but once he finally returned, he had no idea where I was, and consequently couldn't find me. No, I'm doing alright. So Dr. Masumoto, about my father, his face took a grim cast, and before he even spoke, I knew what his response would be. I see. The defeated tone of my voice surprised me. I suppose on some level I believed Dr. Masumoto had some miraculous revelation about my father. Foolish of me, of course, but that didn't make the truth any less devastating. Kondo simply nodded. Yes, I knew what he meant. The experiments my father conducted with some strange concoction that could make people go mad. Please tell me about it. I want to know everything my father was doing. He nodded. Furies. Furies. This term seemed so familiar that I realized I'd overheard some of the men talking about it. Water of life.
中華では先端と呼ばれるものに値する。
세단. 센단.
つまるところ不老不死の霊薬
Oh.
みたいなものだ。
But they make people lose their minds. Furious water of life. It sounded more like something from a fairy tale rather than real life. But there was something in Dr. Masumoto's tone of voice that said he was telling the truth. I've already heard about how it makes you strong and hard to kill. But doesn't it cause so much pain that it makes most people go crazy? And even if you survive that, then even the smell of blood can make you go crazy again. Dr. Masumoto nodded slowly, then pinched the bridge of his nose with thumb and forefinger. He looked very tired. Yes. They were human but not human. Perhaps they were almost entirely different now. How about Sanan then? I couldn't see how this water of life could ever be used for good. Even if it healed Sanan's arm, he suffered greatly in the process. Wait, how's Sanan right now? Why? It sounded more like a moan than a question. My father would never want to ruin the life of another, but because of what he'd done, people suffered and some even died. Why was my father doing this? But it wasn't just my father. I was sure no one involved expected such a terrible outcome.
だからこそ両親の呵責に耐えかねた行動さんはここを去ったんだろう。しかしあれは幕府が新選組の人材不足を補うために授けてくださった知恵でもあるんです。
The doctor only shook his head.
あの計画は失敗だ。行わない方がいい。幕府も見切りをつけているはずだ。
Kondo frowned, perhaps unhappy that Dr. Masumoto would question the shogunate's original decision.
あの薬を飲んだ大使たちがどうなったか近藤さんもよく知ってるだろう。あの計画は人道的に決して許されるもんじゃない。
Kondo gave a non-committal grunt and fell silent. I was sure Kondo knew just how dangerous it was to use the water of life, but the shogunate had come to him with a request. Perhaps he couldn't refuse even if he wanted to. Silence felt like a thick blanket.
たとえ将軍公の御殿医を務めておられる方のお言葉といえど、大使でもない方に口を差し挟まれる筋合いはありません。
Sanan? His face was pale as moonlight, as if he was a walking corpse. Is it okay for you to be up right now?
三男君、休んでいた方がいいのではないか。顔色が悪いそうだ。
ご心配な。
He bowed quickly, his mouth a compressed line, and turned to regard the doctor with a cool gaze.
我々は我々の裁量で例の薬を有効に活用させていただいています。
しかし危険だ。あの薬は人が扱えるような代物じゃない。
研究は続いています。そしてこの私という成功例もあります。
As Sanan did indeed prove it was possible to drink the water of life and retain your sanity, it just wasn't easy.
健役そうに見えるかもしれんが、体のどこかに相当無理をかけていることも考えられるぞ。
私は至って健康ですよ。今後も研究と改良を重ねれば薬の質が上がるのは明白です。
そのためにさらに多くの大使を犠牲にするつもりかね。成功するかどうかもわからん実験に大使を付き合わせるのは生命を冒涜しているとしか思えんが。
彼らは我々の礎となったのです。無駄死にではありません。
しかしだな。
ああ、松本先生も三男君も落ち着いて、この話は後日改めてということにしないか。
It was my private opinion that they were unlikely to agree, no matter what time they discussed the subject, but I felt it was polite to keep quiet. There seemed to be very little common ground between them, but both arguments had merit. Kondo had likely seen this as well, and he chose to end things before it got unpleasant. Sanan's face betrayed nothing of what he might be thinking, even when the corner of his mouth crooked up into the beginning of a smile. He bowed quietly and left as swiftly as he arrived.
そういえば先生、健康診断の方はどうでしたかな。
ああ、それなんだがな。頭を抱えたよ。
それは一体なぜ？
なぜも何も。怪我人や病人を合計したら全大使の3分の1近くになるじゃないか。
What?
なんと。
なんとじゃないぞ近藤さん。あんたらは今まで何をやってたんだ。切り傷からしぶり腹まで。この豚書は病の見本市だぞ。
面目ない。まさかそんなことになっていたとは。
まずは病室を用意してそこに病人を運び込んでくれ。それから豚書を清潔にしてもらわんと話にならん。
承知しました。すぐに取り掛かります。
So we were ordered to clean the entire compound.
なんなんだよ大掃除って。俺は掃除とか整理整頓がこの世で一番嫌いなのによ。
ぐちゃぐちゃ言ってないで、さっさとそこのタンスを持ち上げてくれって。散々自慢してた体力を披露するいい機会じゃないか。
Meat cakes.
うわー、
Alright.
落ち着け。大事はない。どうやらそこにある握り飯を餌にしていたよ。
本当だ。誰だよ、食い残しの握り飯をこんなところに隠してたやつ。
まったく。なぜ私がこのような雑用に駆り出されなければならんのだ。そもそも私は軍略が専門だというのに。
いいじゃねえか。
Hmm.
いつも自慢してる甲州流なんちゃらでパパッと終わらせてくれ。
黙れ。私の甲州流軍学はこのようなくだらぬ役目のためにあるものではない。
原田も人が悪いな。こいつが盲信してる時代遅れの兵法なんて、この時世掃除の役にも立たない。
ミキ君、言葉に気をつけたまえ。確かに洋楽には劣るかもしれんが、甲州流軍学は決して時代遅れではなく。
近藤さんだ。
近藤局長、ご覧ください。先ほどまで足の踏み場もないほどだった部屋が私の指導でここまで。局長は
Takeda realized Kondo was nowhere to be seen and he glared at Harada.
原田貴様、はか。
ぶつくさ文句言ったり、ペコペコしたり、怒ったり。忙しいな、あんた。そうやって相手によってコロコロ態度変えてて、疲れねえか。
Hi everyone, I've washed the racks. Please use this when you wipe the floor.
ありがとうよ。
Despite being upset because of chore duty, the men swiftly cleaned the room as a team. Dr. Masamoto came to the next day to inspect the cleanliness of the compounds.
まあまあ綺麗になったじゃないか。
だろ、この筋肉は飾りじゃねえって先生も。
人を動かすという点に関しては軍略も掃除もさして変わりませんよ。
あんた文句言ってただけだろ。
でも掃除は一日休んでたんだろ。ああ、みんな頑張ってる時に。
しょうがないじゃない。土方さんが過保護なんだから。お前が変な咳するからだろうが。養生しねえからいつまでも治らねえんだよ。
しかし、やはりこうして片付いていると気分がいいものです。
まあな。これはこれで悪くねえ。
よし、これからは毎日掃除するか。
おう、頼んだぜ平助。
なんで俺だけなんだよ。体力自慢の新発さんが真っ先に働くべきだろ。
Help to Hesky.
そっか。そんじゃ明日から二人で頑張ろうな。新発さんなんて放っておいて。
Forget him.
おいおい、ちょっと待てって。誰もやらねえとは言ってねえだろ。
そこにまだゴミがあるじゃねえか。ちょうどいい。捨ててこい、新八。
いや、だから明日からだろなあ、ヘスケ。
片付けたそばから暴れるな。怒りが立つ。
I was enjoying the banter when I noticed something. Oh. I could just hear Okita and Dr. Matsumoto outside, walking off somewhere together. Where could they be going, I wondered. I wanna know. I'm a nosy girl, thank you. What were Okita and Dr. Matsumoto doing? Was Okita going to talk to the doctor about his cough? He was coughing an awful lot lately. None of that. I thought about it. Was he alright? I decided to follow them. Unfortunately, I waited too long, and by the time I made my way outside, they were gone. I think they went this way.
雪村君、誰かを探
Where was this? Shimada, have you seen Okita and the doctor?
沖田君たちなら中庭の方に行ったようです。
Thank you.
急ぎすぎて転ばないよう気をつけてください。
Yeah, goodbye. I saw him walk off, and it got me thinking. The courtyard. Should I try and catch up, or should I go around the back to reach the courtyard before they did? Should I try and catch up, or should I go around the back to reach the courtyard before they did? I'm gonna catch up. They will send someone is following them who can go around. I ducked onto the narrow path that ran around the back, and I soon found myself at the courtyard. I hid myself in the shadows waiting. Okita and the doctor appeared only moments after I hid silently. Tuberculosis. For just a second, my heart stopped. A shiver ran down my spine, and suddenly I felt very, very cold. Oh my god, is he going to die? Okita has...
でも、面と向かって言われると、さすがに困ったな。
老害の一番の薬は西洋だ。新選組は離れて、生のつくものを食べて、ゆっくり体を休めなきゃいかん。
それはできません。
そうせんと体は悪くなるばかりだぞ。今はそうやって平気なふりができても、いずれ布団から起き上がることすらできなくなる。
じゃあその時までここにいます。
Okay, is this? Oh my god, he's really misty, angsty.
それでも刀を取ります。
Just like my friend told me. That's why he's really angsty. Okay, I get it now. He has a sickness. That's why.
なぜそれほどまでここにいたいんだね。
僕は新選組の剣ですから。新選組の前に立ちふさがる敵を切る。
お前さんの覚悟は分かった。
Okita sounded cheery, but I was listening in a state of shock. Okita is going to die. I felt like I wanted to faint, but I stayed strong and remained standing.
先生、近藤さんたちには言わないでくださいよ。約束ですからね。
どうしても言えないことってのはあるだろうな。私もあの子に打ち明けていないことがあるんだ。高堂さんが上位派の過激浪士連中と行動を共にしてるかもしれない。とてもじゃないが伝えられんよ。
The news of Okita's illness had me so scattered. I almost cried out at this new piece of intelligence. My father, working with nationalists. There was suddenly someone behind me. A hand slipped over my mouth before I could react, and a freezing sensation made my spine shiver. Is it Sandan? Wait, was that? It was a calm, cool voice that I heard many times before, although never from quite so close. Wait, Saito? Wait, why is he peeping as well? What the heck, Saito? My body relaxed. The body behind me was Saito, not some anonymous assailant. Wait, why is he peeping on them as well? I nodded my head as much as I dared. His hand over my mouth made me too nervous to breathe. Saito's presence next to me was silent and sharp, like a blade in the night. It seemed like hours passed before Okita and Masamoto finally left.
斉藤さんの起点がなければ危ないところでした。
Yamazaki, how long was he? No, something told me that would be a foolish question. He was probably watching the whole time. Sorry. If you hadn't stopped me, Saito, I probably would have given myself away.
俺の方こそぶしつけな真似をしてしまってすまなかった。
イエーイ。
当時気づかれずに済んだ。あんたのおかげだ。
イエーイ。Oh no, not at all. There was the briefest hint of a smile in his eyes as he spoke, and then it disappeared.
それで、宗司のことだ。先ほど話していた病の件に関して聞かなかったことにしてくれ。
He wasn't asking me to keep my mouth shut per se, but rather to forget what I seen and heard had ever happened. But why?
あの方が病に倒れるとなれば、内外に与える影響が大きすぎます。それに、老師たちが勢いづくだけでなく、局長や副長にもご心配をかけるでしょうから。
He was right, even I couldn't understand that, but I couldn't forget the sight of Akita smiling, even with the seriousness of this news.
病に関しては我々が対処する。あんたが気にすべきことではない。
But...
関わるなと言っているのだ。いい。
At the end of the day, I was still only a guest. This sad reminder resurfaced once more. I may live among the Shinsengumi, but I wasn't one of them. Saito's words made that very clear. Suddenly I felt cold, as if a cold gust of wind blew through me, draining all the heat from my body. I was all alone. From then on, Matsumoto visited the compound regularly to check up on the men of the Shinsengumi. Ever since Sanan had become the leader of the Furies, the group was named as the Fury Corps. Still, I couldn't help but wonder, was it really alright to continue researching the Furies? My heart was heavy with worry. Without him, the Shinsengumi would be nothing. We would cease to exist. If so, why? Without him? Without Sanan? After the dust cleared following the Hamaguri rebellion, the shogun set about cleaning house. The Joshu expedition was launched by the shogun once the Joshu domain were declared enemies of the court. Perhaps feeling they dodged a bullet, the Joshu domain fell silent for a time. Their obedience was short-lived, however, and before long their disrespect for the shogun became impossible to ignore. In order to investigate further, the shogun decided to send an envoy to the Joshu domain. Kono was asked to accompany an envoy sent to the Joshu to investigate their behavior. However, the Joshu domain refused to even meet with the envoy. Fed up with their insubordination, the shogunate ordered the second Joshu expedition. However, the war was a costly one, exhausting both the resources and the men from all over the domains whose morale began to falter. To add to the fire, word of Shogun Iemochi's passing shook all of Japan, and some domains even withdrew, which made the situation even dire. The second Joshu expedition had ended in a surprisingly major loss for the shogunate troops. October. The pillar of the Tokugawa shogunate, which stood strong for 260 years, was beginning to show signs of instability. That day I was accompanying Saito on his rounds. The issue has been hard lately. I've gotten used to the city of Kyoto, but I just can't get used to this humid heat. I always wondered, even in midsummer, Saito always wore his full uniform. Wasn't he hot? Yeah, he doesn't show much skin compared to the other guys. He kept his vigilant guard up while observing the city of Kyoto.
ひとまずあそこの店から回ることにする。ユキも あんたは店の前で待っている。
Alright. So he gave me a short nod of confirmation and stepped into the shop with his men.
新選組だ。先日浪人風の男が出入りしていたという噂を耳にした。戦議させてもらう。
I've been waiting for Saito and his division for a few minutes when I noticed a commotion nearby. A number of rather unpleasant-looking ronin were making their way in my general direction, yelling, threatening, and intimidating anyone unfortunate enough to cross their path. Patriots? Hardly. Perhaps they considered themselves loyal to the imperial court, but they looks like the sort who only use their supposed patriotism as an excuse to steal and kill. The Ronin tossed a poorly aimed kick at the child playing in the street. What the heck? What should I do? It seemed like the warriors were preoccupied with their investigation in the store. Just as I was about to stop the Ronin.
やめなさいよ、みっともない。
あ？なんだてめえは。たかが女が俺たち勤王の志士に意見するって。
そのたかが女に意見されることをみっともないと思いなさいよ。
Oh, she ate them, yes.
今日の人がどれだけ迷惑してるのかわからないの？
The man's obviously short fuse had been lit. He made a grab for the girl and missed. I suspected his next attack wouldn't be as inaccurate. I couldn't let that happen. Wait. When I had come to my senses, I noticed that I had instinctively taken action. I had positioned myself in front of the girl, protecting her.
なんだお前は。その女の知り合いか。
No, I don't.
知り合いじゃねえんならすっ込んでろ。
Flash of speed flew from his mouth as he roared at me, and my legs suddenly felt somewhat weaker than they had a moment ago. But I was convicted. I couldn't run now. If you truly love your country as you say, then why do you abuse women and child? A samurai should protect common people, not attack them.
なんだ。そうだそうだ。いいぞお兄ちゃん。獅子気取りの不定老師め。今日からさっさと出ていけ。
Something about my speech must have struck the chord with the gathering crowd. With the cheers, my legs started to regain some of their usual steadiness. With the rough hiss of metal, the Ronin's sword leaped from its scabbard. Gah! I suddenly discovered I had difficulty swallowing. I could try to dodge, but if I did, he might hit the girl my actions had intended to protect. I was about to draw my sword. Saito. Slowly, carefully, I opened my eyes.
安心し、峰口だ。
Saito.
そいつを屯所に連れて行け。長州の残党かもしれん。はい。
Working quickly, Saito's men set to work binding the Ronin for transport. Saito's cold eyes fell on me.
何故俺を呼ばなかった。
You were busy.
万が一のことがあったらどうするつもりだったの。
I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking. But I couldn't help myself. I mean, what if she were to get injured?
怪我なんてしないわよ。まったくもう無茶しちゃって。
Why are we getting scolded? Oh, the scolding from Saito was expected, but I hadn't thought that my erstwhile damsel in distress would contribute. I'm sorry I made you worry. I gave her a short, slightly confused bow, to which she blinked as if she suddenly remembering something very important.
あ、でも私あなたに助けてもらったのよね。まだお礼を言ってなかったわ。ありがとう。
Oh well, I didn't do anything. It was Saito and his men who made the actual arrest.
別に謙遜なんてしなくていいのに。見て見ぬふりをするよりはずっと立派だったんだから。これも何かの縁だし。 女の子同士仲良くしましょうね。
What? Saito glanced from her to me, and an expression flashed across his face that I couldn't quite place.
見るものが見ればわかる。動揺する。
もしかして内緒だったの？
Well, I wasn't entirely sure how to respond. How does a person respond to that sort of question? She seemed to sense my confusion and gracefully moved on.
ところでまだお名前を聞いてなかったわね。これも何かの縁ですもの。教えてくれるかしら。
Well, this
そ
is...
ちらの方は斉藤さんよね。
Eh,
新選組は有名だもの。知ってあなたの名前は？
my name is anriqiu. It's nice to meet you.
雪村。
Her eyes grew wide as if she were surprised, and she stared intently at me.
あなた雪村って姓なの？
Why, yes, I was living in Edo, but I had come to Kyoto for a certain reason. She was acting a little strange, so I tried to speak to her, and she laughed and looked up.
ごめんなさい。なんでもないの。知り合いと同じ姓だったから。雪村ってすごく綺麗な名字ね。
You think so? Thank you.
よろしくね。私のことは
Sen.
センって呼んで。
Sen. Miss Sen. Nice to meet you.
なんか水臭いわね。見たところ同い年ぐらいだし、そんなにかしこまらなくていいわよ。
So just Sen then?
まあいいわ。じゃあまた会いましょうね。
We made a new friend, guys. Sen. She gave my hand a gentle squeeze that returned and left her kimono flapping behind her. Our encounter was over before I had a chance to grasp what was even happening, and so I simply stood stunned for a moment or two. Saito was eyeing Sen walking off, and eventually he turned to me.
あの娘、あんたの姓が気にかかっている様子だ。
I know, she did say it was the same as her acquaintances. Well, I guess Yukimura isn't an uncommon name either. Wei was up with his face. It seemed like Saito was concerned with the reaction to my name, and he was deep in thought.
予定からだいぶ遅れてしまった。そろそろ行くことにするか。
Oh yes. So we continue on our rounds trying to withstand the scorching heat. Okay, I think that's all for today as well. I'm going to sleep now. So good night guys, see you in the next gameplay.